So, my parents have never really been the most flexible of people. They were always very strict with me. I guess it was fine because I saw it as normal. But I wasn't really allowed to go out much, if at all. I didn't attend school, I was homeschooled. My mom would be the one who would teach me what I needed to know. I was mostly confined to home. They said it was to protect me, which is fair because they are my parents after all. I figured they were just overprotective. It sucked though, not being able to have any freedom really, or well, I guess I still had my phone and my laptop. I had Wi Fi too, thankfully, so that was my access to the outside world, if you will. Though I wasn't allowed to ever make accounts or post pictures of myself for some reason, they said it was just to protect me since there were a lot of creeps out there. They were really hard on me too. If I ever tried to speak back to them, I got grounded. But speaking back and giving attitude was just me responding to their questions or trying to explain myself. Not only that, growing up, they were the type of parents to use hot sauce as a punishment. It wasn't fun, but they said it was for my own good. Eventually, I got bored of always being at home, so I started sneaking out. I wouldn't go anywhere devious, I just wanted to explore. I would go to a nearby mall, not to buy anything, just to see what was there, and sometimes I'd go to the park near our house to see kids my age. I never really understood what was so dangerous. Like, I understood my parents wanting to protect me, but I also deserved the chance to see what was out there. Anyways, one day I got caught sneaking out. My mom had gone out, and I didn't anticipate her coming home earlier than usual. She went to check on me when I wasn't there, and she freaked out. When I got home, she screamed at me, asking where I was and who I spoke to. I kept trying to tell her that I had just gone to the park and I wasn't really speaking with anyone, but she just wouldn't listen and continued to freak out on me, screaming bloody murder. It was such a big reaction, you would think I was killing her or had committed some sort of heinous crime. She grabbed my arm, and while dragging me down the stairs into the basement, she went on and on about how I was an ungrateful child and my disobedience was unacceptable. She left me down there before leaving and locking the door, leaving me down there. It was really dark, but I thankfully managed to find a flashlight to help guide myself. I wandered around the basement since it seemed like I was going to be locked here for a couple of hours at least. There's a bunch of old junk down there, and I honestly rarely had ever explored the basement. The only time I had ever been in the basement was when my mom locked me here when I was younger, though I'd be too busy crying and shaking from the cold to bother looking around. There was just a bunch of old stuff, so I thought why not go through it? Had to pass time somehow. As I was going through the various boxes and items of things, I came across a smaller box that had been taped closed. It was in the far corner of the room. I opened it up and started going through the content inside. I did not expect what I found. Not at all. Inside there were photos. One was a baby ultrasound that I assumed was me until I turned it around and a different name was written on the back. The first and last names didn't match mine. Then there were other photos of my parents with two other people, a couple. The strange thing is, I looked a lot like the woman in the couple, like near identical. And that didn't make sense to me. I found more photos of my mom with this woman, and from what I gathered, they seemed like friends. There were little messages written on the back with their names, but neither name was familiar to me. The writing would describe the picture, like mom's name with friend's name at the beach kind of thing. Or at least what I assumed was my mom's name, since again, it didn't match what I knew her name to be. One of the pictures caught my attention. It was another picture of my mom and her friend, but on the back, it said friend's name pregnancy announcement. I started getting a sick feeling in my stomach. I double checked the writing on the back and I realized that the last name of my mom's friend matched the last name of the baby ultrasound. And I couldn't deny how much I looked like this woman. I've always wondered why I look so different from my parents. I look completely unrelated. I asked them why, but they would always brush it off, saying that sometimes it happens. At the moment, I didn't think much about it, but upon seeing these pictures, how identical I looked to my mom's friend, I don't know. I was left in the basement until around 1 a.m. or something. I heard the door unlock, so I quickly put away everything just as I found it. Though I did keep the picture of my mom and her friend and hid it in my shirt. Both my parents came down, gave me a long lecture, and then sent me to my room. The first thing I noticed when I entered my room was that there were new locks on my window that I can't open. I didn't care though. I'm now typing all this because I need someone to talk to. My parents are going to kill me if they found out I made an account for this, but I'm desperate. I don't know what's going on, or maybe I do, but I'm scared to face it. I want to know if this all sounds crazy and I'm blowing it out of proportion, or if there's something more serious. I just want to know if I'm losing my mind or not. Update 1. So it seems likely that almost everyone is in on the agreement, and that there is a great chance that my parents aren't actually my parents. After the whole basement locking incident, my mom has been so insane about keeping an eye on me that it's getting really suffocating. I can only really type these late at night. Many said to call the police, but I'm honestly really afraid to. Others also said that what they do is abuse, and it's hard to wrap my head around that because this is normal to me. I don't see it as abuse because it's all I've ever seen. I'm really nervous to do anything, but I know I can't do nothing either, so I did something either really stupid or really risky. I made an account on Facebook and looked up the name on the back of the picture that I still had hidden in my shirt since my mom is the kind of snoop around. I tried messaging a bunch of people I think matched. I asked if they knew insert mom's full name and I got a bunch of no's. I used my laptop to take a picture of the picture, funny enough, and sent that too. No luck yet, but I guess we'll see. And don't worry, I'm being careful to hide my tracks, erasing search histories, pictures, etc., in case my mom decides to snoop around on my laptop. I guess we'll see, but I'll try to keep you guys updated. Update 2. Okay, so I got a message back from someone. They recognized the picture. I told them my mom's name, but they didn't recognize that. So I tried the name on the back of the picture, and they said that they knew it and that they were their friend. They asked who I was, and I explained that I was their kid, but I had found pictures of the two in the basement. During the very long conversation, I was able to get some information. It turns out this friend had a child that had gone missing. She thinks her ex best friend took her because she had found out that she couldn't have children. She and her husband searched as long as they could, but they just never managed to find them. She asked me to send a photo of myself, and I did. Long story short, I'm pretty sure I was the baby they stole. My parents were likely not actually my parents. This would explain why they were so adamant about me never leaving the house or posting pictures of myself or having any social media presence. Why I was never sent to school. Obviously, only a DNA test can really prove this, but first I had to get out of the house. I've sent my address to the friend. We're very far away, so we'll see what happens. I'm very, very scared, but I have to know the truth. I'm an emotional mess right now, and everything I thought was real is a lie. I'm hoping that this is just a big misunderstanding, but we'll see. Update 3. Damn, okay. It's been a couple of months. I'm still alive. I'm okay. I didn't get killed or anything. I appreciate the concern. It's just been a bit hectic. The police were called, and after a DNA test, it was confirmed. They weren't my actual parents. Obviously, they got arrested for what they had done. They did, in fact, steal my real mom's baby soon after I was born and took me away as far as they could, changing their names so they wouldn't be able to find me. My fake mom had been so distraught about never having children that she did the unimaginable. I've been living with my actual parents now for a few months. It's really weird, honestly. Everything I was told was a lie, and it's odd to have the freedom to do things that I like and actually attend school. They've both been really patient, though. They're really nice people. I haven't really warmed up enough to call them mom and dad yet, but who knows? Maybe I'll get there someday. I have a younger brother who is pretty cool. He's nice. He introduced me to video games. My parents don't lock me in basements or feed me hot sauce, so that's nice. I told them everything I had gone through, and they were beyond mortified and apologized so much. They may have been strangers, but it was nice to feel them hugging me. It felt right. They've offered to take me to therapy if I need it, but I'm still on the fence about it. So many things happened in such a short amount of time. And I don't know if this is weird, but I kind of miss my old parents. Like, they did awful things, but I lived with them for years. It's just something to get used to. But I'm getting there. I just need time. Thanks to everyone for your help. My faith in humanity just seems to decrease. That's bat crap crazy what they did. That sounds like such a stressful situation, and they were abusing you, hun. I hope you're doing well. I, male 28, have a friend group back from high school that I don't really hang out with, but we're still in touch. We haven't seen each other in a while, so we decided to meet up. We all agreed that we would bring our partners, if we have one, so that our wives, husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends could also meet each other. I brought my fiance with me. She was very happy to meet my friends and hear stories from my teenage years. My friend group from high school consists of mostly men, but there are also two women that we were close with. One of them was my high school crush. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah rejected me when I confessed to her. She bragged about it to everyone and made fun of me, but because she was friends with my friends, I just dealt with her. I quickly realized that it was just a stupid passing crush. The moment she became mean to me was the moment I realized that I don't even find her pretty anymore because of her personality. You might say I was young and stupid. When Sarah met my fiance, she decided it would be a great idea to be a complete wench to her. She went from bringing up my crush on her to saying that my fiance is an obvious downgrade from her. She isn't. My fiance is absolutely gorgeous and natural, unlike Sarah. I told Sarah that she should really think about what she's saying because being almost 30, there is no excuse for being so damn stupid. She started deflecting. The topic of me having a crush on her in high school came up again, so I said that she should stop bringing up things from a time when I was young, stupid, and obviously blind. Sarah became visibly angry. I guess she never really grew up from our time in high school because she was still going at me and my fiance, saying that I have to watch what I say, LMAO, because I might come crawling back to her. I replied by bringing up the fact that she's currently going through a divorce and she might want to sit back and think about why that is. She left to go to the toilet, came back after a few minutes, grabbed her purse, and left. The rest of my friends were divided on my reaction. The rest of my friends were divided on my reaction. Some thought I did the right thing and was only defending my fiance. Some thought that bringing up Sarah's divorce was a blow below the belt. The more I think about it, the more conflicted I am. My fiance agrees I was kind of harsh, but she's also very grateful for standing up for her. Am I the a hole for bringing up my friend's divorce to protect my fiance? NTA. You tried to shut this down several times without success in a more tactful manner, and she just kept pushing your buttons. When she said that your fiance is a downgrade, that's when she lost any right to claim your subsequent reply is below the belt. Congrats on your engagement. Your fiance scored a great guy. NTA. She deserved that and more. Some people never grow up still acting like they're in high school. Kudos for standing up for your fiance. I am so sick and tired of those who dish out insults, laugh at others, and attack someone's character. However, when it's thrown back at them and they act as though no one has the right to do that to them, and worse, friends and family never backing or supporting the real injured party, it's disgusting. My parents had me when they were young, so I'm the oldest grandkid, 19 in my family. My cousin that's closest to my age is 10, youngest is like 3, I think. My family still sticks me with the kids because all the cousins can hang out. When we go out to eat, have holiday dinners, I'm put at the kids' table. When we were sitting around talking and one of my cousins would ask me to play, my parents made me. They said they want to spend time with their big cousin. They won't be little forever. Good, they won't be little forever. I'm not a kid person. Kids in general annoy me. They're loud, boring, talk about nothing, and have dirty hands. When I was younger, 15 ish, I started keeping to myself during family stuff. I didn't have much in common with adults, but I didn't want to be around little kids, so I'd go on my phone or play a game. My parents would make me play with the kids, so they'd take my phone or game and require me to spend a certain amount of time playing with my cousins to get it back. I've told my parents I don't like kids, but they said I was just being a teenager. I started disliking my cousins. It wasn't their fault, but I hated being forced to be their playmate, especially because when I was little, I had to entertain myself, so why couldn't they? Especially because there's 3 kids now. I stopped going to family stuff much. Unless it was a major holiday or something, there was no point. They're planning a family camping trip for August. My parents are making me go. Yesterday, my aunt was over here, and she and my mom were talking about plans and sleeping arrangements came up. My aunt said that all the kids can sleep in one tent and then adults can split up. However, I said, all the kids meaning what? She said, well, all you guys can stay in a tent together. It'll be like a slumber party. Oh, they'll just love a whole weekend sleepover with their big cousin. I said, no, I'm 19. I'm not sleeping in the same tent as a bunch of hyperactive kids that think it's a slumber party. My mom said, oh, come on, it won't be that bad. My aunt was like, and they haven't seen you in a while. They miss you. I said, no, I'm sick of being stuck with them all the time. They're like 10 years younger than me, so we obviously have nothing in common. If I'm going to be stuck babysitting, I better be getting paid for it. I went to my room because I didn't feel like debating. This morning, my mom said that I hurt my aunt's feelings and basically said I hate her kids and need to be paid to spend time with them. She said I should call my aunt and apologize. It probably was wrong to snap like that, but I'm sick of everyone acting like I'm still 10 years old or I should just be excited to basically babysit for free. AITA? NTA. You're being used as a free babysitter so the adults can get a break. That big of an age gap isn't just being a teenager. You don't have things in common with the young kids, and all you're really doing is watching them. It's not like hanging out with friends like the parents think. They can either pay up for you or mind their own kids.